Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Actually, we're pushing near good afternoon. We are up in Galbraith Lake, Alaska. Pretty foggy. Kind of expect that when the temperature's -8 Celsius, which on the temperature gauge for us Fahrenheit folks is about, teens for temperatures up here in the northern part of Alaska. Yes, folks, this is the northern part, so yes, expect temperatures to be still that cold, even though the sun, for the most part, up all day long. We're going to be flying the C90, and we are going to still be battling the same issue we had before with um, airports not being recognized, but we're going to get around that, hopefully. If the weather doesn't improve by the time we get to Ambler, we're going to switch to KVOC, and that way we'll be able to land. Otherwise, it could get a little dicey. But anyway, let's go ahead, hop up into the cockpit. Hang on a second. Let's get our passengers boarding as we do our quick walk around here and take a look at the C90. It is pretty much the Coronado version that X-Plane has. You can see silhouettes of aircraft in the fog as we pan around and take a look at the aircraft. So let's go ahead, hop up inside and get this show rolling. And I say that and we're not moving. Why? There we go. All right, so now we're up in the cockpit. All right, again, as we pan around, you can see we have a C90 also next to us, and a Baron out in the distance, and a Caravan ahead of us. All right, so let me check here. We are on Vatsim. I didn't check to see if it's showing up yet up there. Yes, we are. It's kind of neat that it's showing us as a jet, but hey, they don't ask me. So as you can see in the chat box, our route, Ron, Ronye in that route listing is where we join the RNAV for runway 1, so we can fly this, but we'll see how the weather is when we get there. Well, we'll go ahead and currently, what is it currently? Stand by. And that is PAFM for Ambler. And currently it's clear, 2 degrees Celsius, -2 Celsius on the dew point. So, looks like we should have a good arrival. We'll find out. We're going to be running right along the mountains. Whether or not we see them, that'll be, up to the simulator. Not sure. There is no up-to-date weather. As you can see here in the chat, there is no METAR out of here. There is no automatic weather station. Sometimes the weather is today's, sometimes it's 10 days down the road. So who knows? But they're it is what it is. We'll deal with it and get things rolling here. So let's get in. We're going to do the pre-flighting of the aircraft right now. But if you'd like, why don't we? Let's go ahead, bring up some toolkit. And get into a quick look at the route, quick look at the information we have already loaded in, and then we'll get on the road. Or as better yet, into the air. All right, so folks, the load for the plane. We got 4 passengers coming on board, 100 pounds of cargo, which will give us 900 pounds of payload. We're going to also uplift 1,509 pounds of fuel. For the trip, all of this has already been loaded into the weight and balance of the aircraft, so we're ready to go on that end. They're calling us up to 30,000. I'm going to probably go to 20. We'll see how we do performance wise. I don't even know if the plane can do 30. So moving over to the actual flight plan itself, we're going to call this an ERA Aviation Flight 572, Galbraith Lake to Ambler, call sign MAC 570 or 0572, tail numbers November 43 X-ray Sierra. And like I said, we are into Kingair. That's a C90. It's one of the first versions of the Kingair many moons ago. So we're going to try and do her proud. Air distance 273 miles, and we're going to have a headwind kind of all the way there, 223 at 17. Again, scrolling down, here's our fuel breakdown. If we have to go to, then that is borrow, by the way, and they have a different name for it now. They're using the uh, 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 Eskimo name, and I don't know how to pronounce it. So my apologies. We're calling it borrow, um, and that's what will end up if we have to divert from Ambler. Let's see, continuing down, and it would be the route. And this, folks, is really wonky. We end up coming almost back to a Nuvik Pass, and then up maybe even close to Galbraith. So it's kind of weird, but that's what they came up with for us. Finally, our times in, out, or out, off, on, in, and then our weight breakdown. So there you go, folks. That is our flight for today. So we're going to get back up into the cockpit, and here's kind of a diagram of how it's going to look. We're here. We're going to fly this track all the way to here. I've got a better one than this, so we'll switch over to it. So hang on a second here. Oh, and I was really wild. I didn't even show any of that. Let me go through it real quick so we can get the show on the road. And we'll just do it this way. Here's our basic flight plan for y'all to read. Scrolling through it. Sorry if it's kind of quick. There's our fuel, 1509. Like I said, kind of wonky when you look at it on the map. Here's our routing. And again, RONYE is the fix that we use for the initial on runway 1. And then our our times and weight breakdowns. Okay, so there we go with that. Let me turn this on. Hang on a second. Go to the right page. There it is. And over it comes. So now you're seeing it on Sky Vector. So you get a better feel of what the route's actually going to look like. And basically, oh, wrong icon on my part. You're going to see us coming down. Here's a Nuvik Pass. Those of you with Ice Road Truckers might have heard of that. And then we fly on down to Corky, Loops, Ron, and in. Okay, so there you go, folks. That gives you a better picture of what we're flying. There is an NDB here. I believe one here. Nope, there isn't one in Ambler. So we're going to be kind of flying off the GPS the whole way. So let's swipe all this stuff out of here. Our pre-flight's complete. Our walk around is complete. And we're headed to spooled up too. Welcome aboard. Yeah, what he's alluding to. We had the airport that I work at, Mid America Airport, and that's part of why I was delayed a little bit, and partly not. We have a contract that's come to the airport from Boeing to help train pilots, overseas pilots. And today, while on the runway, I'm assuming landing and rolling out, they punched out. Don't know why. I wasn't on duty. I was yesterday, however, for the Boeing contract. So I'm going to be curious tomorrow when I come into work the Mid-America side with the airlines and all of that, as to what exactly happened, because I'm not hearing it on the news here that much. But yeah, the pilots punched out, which it means, for those of you not familiar with fighter terms, ejected. Uh, so I can't see anything from the little limited enough they've got with the news. The weather's kind of crappy here, so the helicopters aren't able to get in, I guess, or they're not letting them. One of the two. I don't know. Um, Again, bystander looking in since I'm not on duty today. But yes, our prayers go out to those two pilots. So anyway, we are going to get into the air out of here of a Galbraith Lake. Why is it still showing? Hang on a second. Let me check one other view. Yeah, we're clear. Okay, just being slow. All right. Um, so we're sitting in the C90. Let's get that door closed up. We'll look outside and we can see that, again, the door is closed. We'll take a walk around. You can see the fog is in. There's our walk around. I did this earlier before I had to shut some things down. Um, and I had like two tails. It was kind of weird coming up to that. So we're back up. So let's go through the checklists, shall we? So the cabin door is locked and secure. Load baggage secured. Weight and balance set. Emergency exits latched. Seatbelts fastened and harnesses in place. Control locks removed. Seatbelts and shoulder harnesses fastened. Parking brake. On this plane, the parking brake, hang on a second, we're going to switch views, is right over the pilot's left knee, and it is set. Overhead panel, check. Up here on the overhead panel, we're going to bring up the lights, avionic lights. And all the rest look good. Wipers are off. That's the wipers. It's only one switch, like the the 767. My bad. So back down. We'll continue on. Oxygen. All right, oxygen would be the best looked at from here, and we just kind of look over there. Well, actually, no, we'll do it even one better. Okay, oxygen. Right here, it's in the green. Right side is all circuit breakers are secured. Alternate air static's good. Cabin temperature is off. That is this guy right here. Vent blower is in the auto position right next to it. Bleed valves. They say to open them. I'm going to wait till the engines come on. As well as, but we can get our no smoking and FSB set up. Where are we here, folks? Bleed prop levers. Now we'll come back to here. Prop levers are these. They go fully forward. And they can be a pain. I think they're fully forward. Okay. EFIS power switch off. And this one is off. And these are off. Landing gear down. Left sub panel switches off. Fuel system. That says, I love this. Engine anti-ice will first off say off. We're not turning that on until the engines are on. Fuel system checked. Voltmeters will be checked. Stall warnings are off. And fire detection test commencing. Where is, oh, there we go with the battery. Battery switch on. Okay, all lights on. Landing gear indication 3 green. Those are, as you can see right here. And beacon on. So we're going to go ahead and turn the nav light on because we're ready to start up. And we'll get the beacon at the same time. Okay, so page 2, and that is our startup from the battery. All right, wait a minute. We did not get any fuel pumps. Why not? Okay, so we're going to go to the fuel panel. We're going to turn the boost pumps on. Oh, dang it. Okay, hopefully we'll be fine. I hate when that switch opens. All right, so what we're going to be doing is to start up. First off, get rid of this. We're going to start left engine, pilot side. Once we get up to, here we can do it probably better from here. Once we get up to 10% or 12%, we'll bring the fuel control lever to idle and then go on from there. I'm going to run with the inverter on. Here we go. See, it's up to 10, 11, 12, up to low idle. And we're building up turbine pressure. Everything else is coming up as well. Oil pressure's up, temperature will come up with the turbine, and we're past, so we can sit, and we're past 52. So we can turn the ignition off, turn Gen 1 on, and folks, it's running. Continuing on with the checklist, we want to go to high idle. Okay, and then we're going to start up the co-pilot side or the right side. Same procedure. Armed, on, we watch the numbers. And you can see it powering up right now. Kind of see it out here spinning up. And we're up past 52. Ignition off, get out of the way, and Gen 2 on. And we're going to go ahead and take this up to high idle for now. While the parking brake's set, let everything start warming up. Okay, and the left generator and right generators are on. Condition levers as needed. So, transfer. Okay, so let's go to the fuel pump. Transfer pumps to auto. Crossfeed to auto. Boost pumps are on. Inverter is on number 1. Avionics master coming on. And down here on the console, EFIS is down at the bottom, folks. And since we're going to plan 20,000, we're setting that. Okay, which will give us a cabin altitude of 6,000. Lights, fuel control, heat, we do not have. Cabin temperature will start setting. Annunciators and instruments will be checked. Okay, so let's come back up. I'm actually going to, wrong center. There we go. All right, so 22.8 is our Unicom. That's what we'll fly with and transmit on. 2345, you know, hang on a second. I'm going to switch that. There we go. I'm going to set 95 in here. And there we go. All right. And you can see we've got 20,000 set on the altitude alert. We'll bring the squawk up to 2,000. And get the fuel, get the cabin warming up here. Bleeds on. And we're at auto. Okay, and we'll go ahead and start turning our stall warning, anti-ice, pilot, or pitot, sorry, and prop. We'll leave that off for now. Okay, and 1 second, folks. Sorry, folks, just getting the news turned off. We're on the Illinois side, and, well, news is never news over on this side. And it's for about 10 minutes, and then, is there a state called Illinois? That's the way I see our news. And the state of Illinois. But anyway, we're here to relax, so that's why it's turned off. All right, so let's get the GPS fired up. So here's our GPS. You can see, wow, has it got my flight plan still? It sure does. Okay, so we got to get one more fix in here. I don't know where it got. Oh, I did a test flight yesterday. That's why. Okay, so from Corky to Loops. Hang on a second. I want to bring Sim Toolkit up on my end only, and I'm sure I'm going to have to log in now. Oh my goodness, I'm not. Hang on a second. What I'm wanting to see, here, I'll do it this way. Oddly enough, Galbraith Lake has a departure, but it's to go north. So I was kind of taken aback by that earlier. All right, in case I need to come back to it. Okay. Oh, Loops. Okay, Loops is our initial, so that's the last one I believe I need to add. And that's this one. Okay. That's the thing I was not sure of. So Corky. Then LOUPS. The good thing here is if we are instrument there, we could potentially fly in on this. And I believe I have it right. Let me make sure. LOUPS. Oh, man. All right, folks. Sorry for that. Had a sneeze that I did off on mute. I'm glad I did. All right, so... Okay. Oh, excuse me. So I verified this is our inish by the coordinates. This is our fix. And we'll click enter, accept. We're going to put in the next one as well. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. That'll be RONYE. Whoop. N. I think I said YE, and of course I'll do the same checks because we don't have this airport either in here. For some strange reason, I don't get what X-Plane's trying to do. RONYE. Add 66,158. Okay, so that all looks right. And I'm going to put the other fix that we have, JAKOW. Oh, a little time consuming. Okay, 67. Whoa, 157. Hang on, that makes me a little nervous. Okay, 50. Oh, it's right at the end. Okay. Again, yes, that's correct. Except we're in, and we'll just make sure that I didn't misread it yesterday. PAFM. Nope, it's not taking it. All right, so we'll clear out. So there we go, folks. So we're going to go to our first fix, which was Enton. As you look at the, oh hell, we'll do it the easy way. Put it up there for you. ROUTE. Okay, so as you can see on the chat, Enton is our first fix. There it is right there. Sorry, right there. Then Nuvik Pass Corky Loops is our initial for the runway 1 RNAV, and then we follow these two in to get to it. There is our route. And what we're going to do on takeoff, once we are airborne, we're going to turn, go direct. And I'll show you how we do that once we get airborne. So that one's set. Let's go ahead and get the bottom one real quickly. Yeah, I've just realized I'm going to have to relearn my alphabet because I blew that big time. Just using the other one here to help us out. I wish it was easier to load. Okay, and then a Nuvik. Nuvik. Don't even get me trying to figure out how you get that out of that. But anyway. Quirky. Okay, so loops, L-O-U-P-S. Oh, a little time consuming, sorry folks. E. Okay. Okay, there we go. And same thing here, folks. Close that out. Move this up. We'll just have to do a direct here so you see the flight plan. Okay, so we're going to clear out. Clear that. Again, Unicom here for Vatsim. Back up in case we need it. We will not have any VORs. This one, if I remember right, let me check. Is a Nuvik pass, okay. 348 is the NDB. That's all we really got, folks. So, all right, so let's, we're ready to go. So, nav lights are on. We'll put the recognition on, the tail. Just making sure. We'll go ahead and sync the props for now. We don't really have any nav devices here that we can pull from, so we'll keep it there. Down here, well, let's do it from here. I think we can reach. No, we can't. It was by here. What we're gonna do is okay, let me just, this is what I set us for yesterday. I did it wrong, sorry. We'll set it for there. Actually, we'll go a little higher. I may have to fix something here after the flight. Okay, and course. All right, yaw damper we're going to turn on. Okay, so we're ready to taxi. With that, it's going to sound like we're really revving up here, folks, for takeoff. So I'll warn you ahead of time. Avionics, EVAs, autopilots checked and turned off, electric trims on, trim set. What I want to do is set us at about 5. Okay, I'm just checking a checklist I have here. I thought it said what the trim settings were. All right, well, we're going to go with up 5 and see how that goes. So, folks, let's do this, Come off the parking brake. Now, before we get moving, yeah, we're pretty heavily fogged in. We're going to go out this taxiway to the runway and down, turn around and take off. All right, folks, so here we go. Okay. Before takeoff, we've got the boost pumps all set and correctly set up. Flaps, give me 1 degree. Actually brings it down to, I think it's 20. 25. Just making sure we don't hit anything, folks, and we try to be respectful and not put rocks into other planes. We are on gravel here. Now again, we're in the C90. Now I had troubles trying to get this plane to fly some of these longer routes because these airports are not, for some reason, being called unsuitable for it. I've flown in these before an update. So I don't know what X-plane is doing, but yeah, they pretty well took a lot of the airfields that this airplane does fly into out by doing that. Or you have to do it like I just did by putting in just your fixes. You can't use the airports, which kind of sucks because you can't really do the procedures. But, you know, I've got the charting so we can. And you would think they would. Look at that lightings. I mean, they've got lighting here. All right, so let's go ahead, turn this thing around. Give it some power. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure your seat trays and seat backs are fully forward. Seat belts on. We're about to take off. And thank you for flying with Mike. We've already made our announcement to Vatsim. Let's make sure Vatsim isn't on so they don't catch us airborne. Okay, they are not, folks. Here we go. Runway 14. Okay, so for takeoff, ignition's on, engines checked. We're going to go first to about 50 or so % as best we can, and then we'll take her all the way up. All right, so here we go. And at about anywhere from 500 to 1,000, we'll turn to a heading of 240. All right, there's 80 knots.
V1. Rotate. 10.
Okay.
V2.
And I'm going to go ahead and start my turn. Mainly because, as you just saw, there are mountains right here. Then I'm going to turn that flight director on. Actually, we'll go, I believe I've got us at around 270. See them now. All right, so let's roll out here. And, okay, we're going to get on the autopilot now. So what we do, we'll click heading, out select, and we'll go with current VS for now. That'll put us on the heading. Then I want to put us on nav. Oh, I see what I did. It's like, why did that come up? So we want to go to nav now. And then the thing you need to do here, let me pull this out. We've got to switch the CDI to GPS, and that'll put us on, and you can see us turning to GPS. All right, now once we get on course, it's going to adjust. Okay. I just kind of like to get, dang it. Okay. Now I want to increase our climb. So let's come down to here. Up is down here. See how that did. And you can see now we're climbing out at about 1200. Let's get the flaps up. That'll help a little too. And there you go, folks. We are now airborne. In the climb, we need to set our props. So let's bring the props to 2000. 20. We're in cruise climb, so 2000. Props are right here. Can't really zoom in much for you. So we're going to try to set them right about here, both of them. There you go, folks. They're set. We'll keep the torque as is. Let's get up here. Whoops, up here. And we'll take a look, see what we can see. That's never good. I thought I hit him. I must have went down.
Gear up.
All right, folks. That was my bad. Okay, so gears up. I swore I hit that on the way out, but I guess I did not. Oh well, you gotta love it. Flying with Mike. All right, that's why we use the checklists too. Windshield, monitor the engine's cabin signs. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those off. We're just flying 4 people, folks. They're off. Give them a little more heat. We're on our way, folks, to first fix is N10 eventually Eventually we're headed to Ambler. Yep, and there that. I'm glad I looked outside. That'd have been fun at 20,000 feet with the gear down. Let's swing the airplane around. Okay. And there's 8,900 feet. So folks, we are climbing through. For now, let's go ahead, bring some music on into the background and see where we can go from here. As we cross 10,000 feet, let's get the lights off. So we'll leave the nav recognition, beacon, and strobe tail flood on, but the landing lights off. Taxi light off. We'll turn the prop on for now.
10,000 feet.
Okay. Okay, landing gear up, flaps up, engine set, prop sync on, windshield, engine aids, cabin. Okay. Next up is our 18,000 foot check where we set the altimeters to standard. Just making sure nothing is redlining. Okay, we're going to pull the power back just a smidge. There we go. There we go. Get that out of the red. Torque is looking good. All right, folks, we are on our way. Let's see if there's yet any visuals we can have of the area. Very little. That's kind of a bummer. All right, folks, we're back. Hopefully, well, hang on, let me double check that we're back. We are. Thought I had the mic muted on OBS as well. But I was hoping we'd get to see these mountains a little bit more than we are. The only way would be to go Kavok, and I'm trying to prevent from doing that. But what we're going to do is get into this arrival brief here. Let's see, currently, why are we not showing up? That's why. There we go. Well, wait a minute. What is it doing? Hold on a second. Okay, I've got SimTim Toolkit up here, so let's take a look at it. So we just came off a Nuvik Pass. It's below us in the mountains right now. As you can see here on our track, let's go to the arrival. We're going to come into loops out here at 3,600 feet, no lower. Here's our, here, let me zoom a little, our frequency strip across the top. We'll be on 122.8 unless ATC comes up for some weird reason. That wouldn't surprise me. Next up on the list here is the actual frequency of this RNAV. We don't plug that in. We can't, obviously, but we will fly a final course of 009. We'll show it here. Well, actually, let me see if we can kind of pull it up. So you can kind of see from Rowan in on 009 for the runway. At Jacko, we should be at 1,900 feet. Hopefully, if the weather stays clear, we should see it. And our decision height is 518 feet MSO, which is 250 feet AGO. Airport elevation 293 feet. We're going to be touching down at about 268 feet above sea level. So with us, 4 and 5, they'll be somewhere down. Where are those? Oh, here. No, they're right here. So 11 miles from loops, we need to be at least 3,600 feet, at least 6,200 feet, 3,200 miles out. So you can kind of gauge our descent. You know, we got to be careful here that we don't hit anything if the clouds are still present. So now, missed approach is climb to 1,000, then climbing right-hand turn to 3,600 feet back to Roan. Then we enter the hold. Looks like a teardrop entry for the hold. And then we'll continue and hold at 3,600 feet till advised to try in again. Transition, of course, 18,000. We don't have to worry about cold weather, and we can control the lighting. I've never tried it, but anyway, it's on 122.7. Again, gives you from Lopez to Roan, Ranyi to Jaco to runway 1. Here's our glide path to maintain 3,000. Just to give you an idea, we're looking at our weight. Stand by here. 9,600 feet is what we're estimating. So looking at the chart here, about 100. So we're going to come in at about 500 to 600 feet a minute. All right, so that'll give us our 3 degrees, and that'll start from Ronan to Jaco right in. But from Jaco all the way in, we should be at about 500 or so feet a minute. Actually, we'll be a little more coming down on the approach, probably 110, so to 120, so maybe 600 feet a minute. But we'll make that happen, and we need at least a mile. And let's see here, mile and almost 2 mile visibility, so we're good on that. So there's our charts. That's all we have, folks. Let me see. Do we have any? Look at the airport. I'm not sure if this will be here, but that's going to be obviously our ramp. So we'll back taxi back. It's a 4,000 foot runway, folks. And 75 feet wide with gravel. So it's a little narrow runway. It'll be fun though. Curious. No SIDS for when we leave. All right. And no stars. All right, finally, folks, let's get the right now weather. Winds calm, 10 miles, still clear, 2 degrees, and 3005 when we start in our descent. Okay, sometimes that'll probably be the live map. We're going to switch over to it. And right now we're showing about 37 miles out. Top of descent is what's coming up next. Let's see. At about, we'll call it 50 miles out. Okay, how do you get rid of it? Oh, that's great. Can't get rid of it. We're just going to try switching it this way. There we go. So we got about 48 miles from Loops. That's when we'll start our descent. So folks, if you want to join in on the chat, feel free. We sure would appreciate talking with y'all. Folks, also, if you want to kind of have some fun, see what Flying with Mike, Captain Mike here can do on his landing, put in a prediction. And I'll show you what you need to do here for that, but stand by while I... Okay, so again, sorry for the ads, folks. Is what it is. They need to, I guess, make their money to pay for people like ICE and all of that.
Turn to coal because Stone Cold said so.
Turn to coal with Tide.
Energy savings based on average really cheap hot cold and non-AG machines performance based on Tide power plant versus leading baking soda packs.
There we go, folks. I got that lined up. We're good to go. Let's hop back out. Let's see if anything's visible yet. Doesn't appear to be. All right, so, and by the way, folks, if you happen to like what you're hearing and seeing, we'd love for you to follow us. Click the follow button. The more the merrier that we have join in, the better it'll be. Ask anything you'd like. We're here to make a prediction. What you're going to need to do, simply put in the exclamation mark, type predict, and then minus and whatever the numeric number you want, like 300, 400, 200, 100, 0. Well, we like that. That's what we're shooting for. But I just put one up there for you. You got now until we're on short final to make your prediction. So enjoy the ride, folks. Got about 30 minutes, figure 20 minutes or so to the, well, actually I think we're closer than that. Hang on a second. Let's get in here and see. Pull up the GPS. Now to find that, what you're going to have to do is on this inner smaller ring, oh, I'm silly. Oh, wait a minute, we're going to Corky. Let me just check something here. Yeah, where is Corky? Okay, so we're gonna still do it at about, we'll do it at about 40. But anyway, as you can see, folks, loops is another 20, so 20 to 40 miles out, we'll start our top of descent down so that we have Ron at or around 3,600 feet. Again, making sure that we're 6,200 feet or more, 30 miles from RON. So that means, or from loops. So that means Corky, we're going to be over 6,000 feet. So we got to make sure that happens. Get rid of that, and we're back. This, if you've heard me on previous streams, folks, here's why I don't like, actually we happen to have one of those. This is the 430. This is all you get. Well, let me try. You get where you're on the GPS itself here. It just tells you distance and all to it. This is where the 430 starts. I'm gonna push this out a little. Okay. That's why. See all this information you get right here, folks, on the main when you're on it. That's what I want. Got a VOR 294. Let's tune it in down at Bettles. 1600. And it's telling us that because I actually have it tuned in. But again, folks, that's why I like the 530 over the 430. A lot more information readily available for us. So anyway, it is what it is. And we will continue on our way. Kind of try to give you the best view possible if this cloud layer subsides. All right, folks, we're about 40 miles out now. As you look at the GPS here, we're sitting at 46. We've already done our descent brief, so basically we got to check our cabin altitude. That's down
Dancing
here.
with friends, hugging your grandparents, making travel plans. It's all arriving soon.
So
Uber
hopefully,
and Walgreens
sorry, I
are
get
here
this
to
ad
help
over
make it
with,
as
and then
easy
we'll
as
go
possible
from here.
to get the vaccine, so you can get back to the things you love and miss. You can now schedule your vaccine appointment and reserve a ride to Walgreens, all through the Uber app. Open your app and tap vaccine to get started.
All right, so what we're gonna do here, folks, let me get us set up here, and I'll be right with you. Okay, we had a few warning messages here to take care of. Hopefully we're in good shape here. Okay, so we're now 38 miles out. So okay, so let's, oh, it does look like it might clear off here, folks. So we're going to go ahead and set our descent. So to do that, we're going to dial down 36, or we'll dial down to 4. Go. Okay, let's come back up. And what we're going to do down here is click altitude select and just kind of help. Oh, you gotta click descent, sorry. Okay, so you all can see what I'm clicking. Click altitude select, descent, and that'll start us into our descent. And at current power setting, we will come up on speed in about 180 to 200. I'm going to click it into IAS just to be safe. And again, at 1800 feet, we're going to also set our altimeter setting, which currently is 3006. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so air temperature is minus 29 degrees Celsius. Let's get outside the airplane. That's on me. Give you a little look at this. Okay, there comes 18,000. We're already set. And I'm going to go ahead and put us into IAS.
18,000 feet.
Let's make sure we hold that. So there you go, folks. We're at the tail end of this mountain range. So let's hop back in here, go through these checks. Altimeter is set. Cabin signs are now coming on. Windshield ice is on power as required. And it's going to use the descent, folks, to maintain our speed now. So we stay, I mean, they'll actually bring it up. They call this the barber pole. You kind of see it looks like a barber shop, that pole denoting a barber shop. They actually fly it pretty close to that on their descents, according to a real air ambulance pilot. I'm going to be nice and keep it under. recognition lights are on, seatbelts and tables up, and we're going to start getting ready here for the landing. Here, let's push it a little bit more. Get a little bit more speed on this. Okay, looking at our GPS, there's Corky at about 20 miles out, loops. So between here and there, we gotta kind of stay above 6,200 feet in transition so we don't get into the mountains here. So that's why we gotta watch what we're doing. Airport's right about here. Well, actually, really, yeah, about right there. It's not modeled, so we have to fly it at that point. 18 miles to go to Corky. But really, saw that. We're still coming up on speed, so.
Ten 10,000 feet.
Okay, so we are set for the altimeter setting to
10,000 feet. 10,000
Ambler.
feet.
And this guy is going to get annoying. Okay, so we are level.
10,000 feet.
And we're off Corky. Well, actually, we'll be, right now, we're 20 out.
10,000
We're going to go ahead now and continue on down.
Ten 10,000 feet. Ten 10,000 feet.
Okay. What we need, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get rid of that first. Go to here. Go back into descent. I'm going to build this up to about 200. And I'll be right back with you. Alright. Okay, so we're doing our descent. Switch into IAS now. That's a good speed. Alright, so let's make sure we make those marks. Well, we're definitely able to take it all the way down now. See if by pulling some power back we get a steeper descent. Should, because it's going to try and maintain the 200. There we go. All right, folks. 080 at 3. Alright, well, we're good with the winds. Alright, folks, we are just about to the, I'm gonna shorten our distances up here. Loops is 10 miles out. We're approaching 7,000 feet. Rhone, Ronnie, however you want to say that, to Jaco, and then in. And I need to adjust. Okay. And sorry folks, we're going to go on pause with the music so we can really concentrate on this arrival. Okay, airport, let's see. Not seeing it yet. Okay, and we're coming up to the initial here. Looking at my chart real quick, hopefully, he says. "11 miles. Okay, so we'll start really slowing up now. I think I'm going to actually go vertical speed.
$2,500.
Could be. Past that river. Big possibility right there. Looks awful wide though. All right, so we're going to slow to 120. Come off the autopilot now.
Gear down.
1,000.
Okay, folks, I'm having a hard time finding this runway. Let me see. And that is my biggest complaint by far with X-Plane. There it is.
500.
That's it. That is wild. Well, wait a minute.
400.
Let's do an overflight.
Gear up.
My apologies, folks. I think I just
300.
found the airport. Yep, there's the airport. All right, we're going to get into a left base.
Gear down.
And folks, that's a lot of what Alaska is, overfly, then land.
500. 400. 300. 200.
Okay, we are stable.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Not too bad for a long time since flying the aircraft. For, what is it, 527 feet a minute, folks. Come out of beta. Put a little brake on. This is a very narrow runway. I will give X-Plane one thing. Their ground taxi dynamics are really good. FXX pushing the power in like that would have pushed the plane right off the runway. Alright, so let's go through the checklists here, folks. Hang on a second. I just need to move my checklist down to after landing. There we go. Well, we'll keep the landing lights on till we come off the runway. Anti-ice will remain on. Ice protection's not really that big of a problem right now, so let's see. Can turn the arm off there and come back up, make sure we're not coming off. Transponder and radar to off. Well, we'll put them in standby. Actually, I don't think I ever moved it off standby. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Alright, so we're almost there to the ramp, folks. Let me just get a overhead here. Oh wow, that was not on the chart either. A lot of what we see is not on our chart. Let me just make sure. Yep, we're at Ambler. Alright, so that's not on the charts. Alright, so we're going to park over here kind of close to the trailer where these other two are not. So just so you know. Trim set flaps up. Pressurization 0, and we can turn the strobes off once we leave the runway. Okay, coming up here to the taxiway. Okay, strobes are off, landing lights are off. All right, let's see, where's trim set? Let's get that to normal. Okay. we just got to get her into the stand here, folks. What we're gonna do, think. Okay. All right, folks, we are in the stand that I'm going to take. I don't know if this is a real one or not. All right, so let's get down here and turn off our EFIS, yaw damper, flight director. Okay. We want to come here. Actually, transfer pumps to off. They are. Cross feet closed. Avionics off. Inverter off. Auto feather is off, as is prop sync. Vent blower off. And avionics off, oxygen's off. ITT below, instrument emergency lights on, power levers to idle. Condition levers, cut off. Well, we're going to feather the props first. Okay, and now cut off. Okay, boost pumps off at 10%. Again, we're watching this. Okay, boost pumps can come off. And parking brake is set. Believe we can now turn the avionics off. They are. And battery gen bar off. Yeah, there's usually a bar here, folks. Okay. All right, folks, welcome to Ambler. Take a look outside. And we're going to first. Oops, that wasn't the one I wanted to click on. Okay, and file. So we don't get into any trouble here, folks. We're gonna, for the next 5 minutes, we're gonna take a look at the landing from a couple of angles. So I just want to come off Vatsim so we don't get in trouble with them. And close. That way we know for sure we're off. Okay, and Just making sure everything's filed, and it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's take a look at this from a couple of angles. And I hate to say this to y'all folks, but I still have not found that song besides this one that's more apt to the end of the show than grand finale. So here we go, folks. Looked pretty good from that angle. That looked pretty good too, folks. We'll try a couple more here. All right, we'll go. You know what? Let's a little solid. And here we come in from the tower view. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do a wrap for the show today. We'll just stay on the tower view as we back taxi our way in. Hang on, I'll just kind of help it along a little bit here. So we had a great time flying from Galbraith Lake over here to Ambler. A little difficulty in finding the airport, but we eventually did. We also got through our problems of being able to go to these kinds of airports without the airports being able to be identified. And we'll let her come into the ramp. So folks, again, thank you for flying with Captain Mike here and flying with Mike. And G-Nice for you, welcome. Yeah, unfortunately we are wrapping up, but thanks for showing anyway. Folks, y'all have a great day. God bless. And we'll see. Our flight from Oakland to Scottsbluff, Nebraska. So you all have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you then.